Hello, my name is Sadie Anderson, and I'm a Media and Communications major currently doing my bachelor's at QUT. I'm very interested in television and video production as well as journalism and marketing. I have experience in video editing for some short films, and I hope to one day be able to produce films for advertisements and get involved in the marketing industry. So during my second semester at QUT, I took a class called Project Management for Entertainment. This is a really cool class that guides us through the whole process of creating a real project. We were able to choose our own group members for this project, and I was able to form a wonderful group of 5 people who all had different abilities and interests. There was Bianca, who is a business and fashion major, Annabelle, who is fine arts and music, Georgie, who is journalism and entertainment, and Tom, who is a business major. As a group, we were able to brainstorm projects that could utilize all of our abilities, and this is how we decided to create a podcast. We discovered that all of us in the group were regular podcast listeners, and we also discovered that all of us were extremely passionate about the creative industries, and this is what sparked the idea for our podcast, which is to interview creative industry students about their creative journeys. The purpose of this podcast is to inspire other creative industry students who may feel stuck and may need a little push in the right direction. So to create this podcast, there were a lot of steps that needed to take place, and I think our group did a great job of splitting up the steps equally between all team members. Personally, I was responsible for setting up the Spotify account, setting up the Facebook, and designing the logo. So designing the logo was a collaborative effort between Bianca and I. I designed the logo on paper with pencil and pen and colored pencils and did some rough drafts. And once me and Bianca came to a final draft, she uploaded it to Adobe Illustrator and cleaned it up and made it suitable for the internet. I think that this process worked out really well and it was really collaborative, and I'm really happy with our logo. Creating the social media was also a collaborative effort between Annabelle and I. She did the Instagram and I did the Facebook, and I think this worked out really well as well because we found a way to get the Facebook and the Instagram to link so that we could make sure that the content was coherent between both social media platforms. Creating the Spotify account was something that I took upon myself to do because I really wanted to see what the process would be like, and it ended up being a lot more rigorous than I thought it would be. To create a podcast on Spotify, you have to create an RSS feed, and creating an RSS feed is something that I had never done before. I didn't know what an RSS feed was, and so it took a lot of research and effort to be able to find out how to accurately create it. In order to post the podcast on Spotify, we also had to pay $10 a month for the RSS feed. So I was initially against this because there are many other platforms that are free, and paying to use a platform can pose some risks in the future development of the podcast, especially because it's a school project. But after discussing this with my team, we ultimately decided that we would post on Spotify, but we would also post on YouTube so that in case something did happen with the payment of the Spotify account, the episodes would always be permanently on YouTube just in case. It was hard creating the RSS feed in the Spotify, but I'm glad that I took the initiative and I did it because now I have very valuable skills that I can save for the future. I think we also could have benefited from more in-person meetings in hindsight. We communicated almost solely through Facebook, and I think this caused some communication issues between us during the implementation of the project. I definitely could have done a better job in terms of my response time on Facebook as well. I feel my inability to quickly respond to group messages may have caused some issues, and this is definitely something I'm going to work on in the future. I gained a lot of skills from this project. I think I learned how to be a better team member. I'm much more comfortable working alone, and this project really opened me up in terms of collaborating and communicating with team members. I learned a lot of valuable skills from my team that I will definitely use in future projects. I think one of the most important things I learned is the importance of sending frequent and timely updates to the team. Even if nothing has changed or nothing new has happened, just to let your team know that you're still there to help if anything is needed, and you're still thinking about the project outside of class. I think that's really important, and that's something that I need to work on. But overall, I'm very happy with how our podcast turned out. We reached all of our objectives on Spotify and YouTube. I think this is because of our regular and consistent posting on social media, and as well as our team's passion for what we were creating. Thank you.